Hey, welcome to Camp's Corner. Thanks for being here. So, in my last video, I talked about one lesson that I learned from my twin flame, and that was practicing non-attachment. And today, I'm talking to you about having expectations. I remember one time she even texted me. She basically called me out saying that I'm having expectations. It was I was like, what does she mean? So of course, after a while of, on this journey, I look back and I'm like, yeah, I did have expectations. So anyway, here's a book called Letting Go. It's an amazing book as well. The Pathway of Surrender by David R. Hawkins. So here, letting go of expectations. When we put pressure on other people in order to get what we want, they automatically resist because we are trying to pressure them. The harder we push, the harder they resist. Even though out of fear, they may actually concede to our demands, there is not an inner acceptance, and later on, we will lose what we have gained. This resistance is in all of us. We can be aware of it as it operates unconsciously. And we evade the awareness by making excuses and plausible explanations. You guys heard of this, I'm sure. Boy meets girl. As soon as she realizes he wants her, she becomes hard to get. So then boy decides to withdraw. She now wants him, and he in return acts aloof. Sounds familiar, right, guys? When we refer to this phenomenon to explain sales resistance, one way around it is to take the view that our responsibility is to make an effort, but not to try to determine the result. Another way is to surrender the feelings we have about what we want from the other person and let go of the pressures we are putting on them in the form of expectation and desire. They then have the psychic space to become agreeable or even to initiate the desired result on their own, the result we have wished for in the first place. An example of this dynamic is a man who is working with the letting go technique in the midst of a divorce. He and his wife got into a heated argument over something he wanted. She just kept saying no to his requests. So in the middle of it, he surrendered on the object that he wanted. It was now okay with him if she didn't give it to him, and it was okay if she did. The instant he let go of it in his mind, she suddenly turned to him and offered not only to give it to him, but to have it packed and shipped as well. This illustrates a very simple but decidedly elegant and active way of clarifying relationships. First, look at how you are secretly feeling about a person in a given situation. Presume that the other person is aware of those thoughts and feelings. Then, put yourself in their place and see how you would react. You will see that their behavior is probably just what you would have done in their place. The goal is to let go of all these feelings until you can go up to a positive thinking, feeling space about the matter. Once in a positive space, now see how you would react as the other person who was aware of these new feelings. The likelihood is that their behavior will change just as you would expect. There might be a little time delay, but if you keep watching, the change will likely take place. Even if it doesn't, you will no longer be upset about a situation. Sometimes the payoff refuses to show up, but we can say, this is one that the universe owed me in due time. In fact, it is part of the greatness to know that sometimes a good deed is not returned. The influence that our thoughts and feelings have is in the world's literature called the law of karma. or you get what you give, or you reap what you sow. Often, we don't see this law in operation because of the time delay. For instance, an acquaintance borrowed $200 and then failed to pay it back as promised. For over a year, there was a resentment and consequent avoidance of the person because of the emotional discomfort, which was compounded by the guilt of holding the resentment in the first place. Finally, when it became apparent that the only person suffering from the resentment was the person holding on to it, and it was costing peace of mind, the willingness to let go emerged. At that point, the resentment was fairly easy to let go, and the borrower was forgiven. The $200 was recontextualized as a loan to someone who had been in need. Within a few months, there was an unexpected encounter with the person who said out of the blue, "I have been concerned about the money I owe you. Here's the whole $200. The loan was repaid without even asking for it." We block receiving what we want from others by our expectations or resentments of them. It is very effective to surrender our expectations of others before we enter into a particular situation with them. Emotions are really subtle attempts to force others and impose our will on them, which they unconsciously resist. The way to facilitate satisfaction in relationship is lovingly to picture the best possible outcome. Make sure it is mutually beneficial, a win-win situation. Let go of all the negative feelings and merely hold on to the picture in the mind. We can tell if we are really surrendered when we feel okay either way. It's okay with us if it happens, and it's okay with us if it doesn't. Therefore, to be surrendered does not mean to be passive. It is being active in a positive way. When we are surrendered, there is no longer the pressure of time. Frustration comes from wanting a thing now instead of letting it happen naturally in its own time. Patience is an automatic side effect of letting go, and we know how easy it is to get along with patient people. Notice that patient people usually get what they want in the end. One resistance to letting go is the illusion that if we let go of our wantingness and our expectations, we won't get what we want. We fear that we will lose it if we don't keep pressuring for it. The mind has the idea that the way to get a thing is to want it. Actually, if we examine the issue, we will see that events are due to decisions and choices are based on our intentions. What we get is the result of those choices, even though they are unconscious rather than what we think we want. When we surrender to pressure of wantingness, we are clear to make wiser choices and decisions. We think that our happiness depends on controlling events and that facts are what upset us. Actually, it is our feelings and thoughts about those facts that are the real cause of the upset. Facts in and of themselves are neutral things. The power we give them is due to our attitude of acceptance or non-acceptance of our overall feeling state. If we get stuck in a feeling, it is because we still secretly believe that it will accomplish something for us. Wow, guys. This is a great book. All the books I bring here are like awesome. They've been books that I've been like digesting for breakfast, lunch, and dinner at the beginning of my journey. And I'm just here to like share it all with you because I know that you're, on your road to aligning with your divinity, knowing sort of like the technology of who you are, that you are not the mind, that you have a mind. Because it is the mind that has expectations. And again, with practice, it will come to you. There's no on and off switch on this journey. It's definitely not for the faint of heart. But we got you. We got your back. The universe has your back. It's all about rising, about bringing in a new earth, raising the vibration on earth. And we're here day in and day out to assist those who wish to join us. And we've got all the great tools and techniques. So come join us. Conduits. Hit like and subscribe and hit the notification button. Yeah, my twin flame said to me once in a text, she used those words and I'm like, what is going on? Like, I didn't realize that I was behaving a certain way. So she's like, you know, I'm like, I've got expectations and desires, and I'm like, wow. And in retrospect, I'm like, wow, my greatest teacher is my twin flame. And I you know, adore her. And, you know, I'm so grateful to her. And I know she's grateful for me. You know, we just have this, we're one soul. So, you know, not to worry, those who are in deep pain and suffering. You know, Eckhart Tolle once said, suffering is only necessary until it's no longer necessary. It's your greatest teacher. So yeah, I'm gonna go hang up my clothes. I just wash some laundry. I'm gonna go stare at the sun, you know, and get my vitamin D. And yeah, we love you guys. And what about Andrea, eh? Her live the other day? Oh, guys, we have to give her props. She loves you guys so much, you know. So anyways, again, till next time, till the next video, who knows what it will be. If you know me by now, I'm like, you know, winging it, kind of. I decide, okay, the first one came to me was non-attachment. And this one is now, you know, practicing acceptance and not having expectations, you know, like of others, filling up your own cup. Because it's, once you give that laundry list to somebody, hey, and you give to somebody, that's pretty like scary stuff. They're gonna run the other way. So it's all about radical self-responsibility here. And you guys you're made for this. You're on the fast track. What can I say? So again, thanks for being here. Until next time, stay blessed. Pray for peace. And we'll see you around. You take good care. Camp's Corner.